Bob Maloney from my MMA News, and I am joined by the Dark Shark Cam Chism. What's going on, my man? How you feeling?
Good. Not much is going on. Just relaxing, enjoying my life.
Well, Cam has a fight coming up at Art of War at 14, November 23rd, and I wanted to talk to Cam since this is really the first time I got in depth with you, Cam. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in mixed martial arts. What was the draw for you? Was it a fighter that you liked? What got you into going into the cage and, trying to beat people up?
So initially, I actually grew up wrestling, and not a lot of people know that. And I got to high school, and I tore my ACL, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to wrestle. I got tired of cutting weight. I was like, I've been doing this stuff 6 years old, and that actually was the beginning of me losing a lot of structure in my life, because wrestling really gives you that. And after I graduated, I moved up to Williamsport, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I came across this profile of Nick O'Brien, and I wrote him, and I was like, hey man, where do you train at? He told me where, and the next week I was in the gym training, and so he's honestly the reason why I started fighting. He's one of my best friends. He's the godfather to my two children. So the reason I started fighting was actually because of him and his involvement in my life. So he's the thanks for why I started fighting.
Nick's a good guy. Yes, he is. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about this camp. You have a heavyweight battle coming up against Jason Manning. Tell me a little bit about your camp, who you working with, what team do you represent, and who's getting you ready besides Mick.
So Nick actually hasn't been a big part of my camp this time for the first time in a long time, which is weird because he was doing grappling tournaments and stuff and preparing for his own stuff. And but I'm down training at Cardio for Days, and I'm training with Josh Aarons, who's fighting Ben Moser on that same card. So that's where I've been training, getting some getting some training down there with him, and just getting ready, working on all the tools, and just the usual grind of fighting. It's my 13th fight, so at this point it's kind of I know what I need to do. I know what should be done. I've been here before. I mean, fighting at heavyweight wasn't necessarily ideal. It was one of those things where it was I wanted to fight at 205, but I told Mike, I was like, listen, I'm one of those people where if you find me someone, I'm gonna fight him. It doesn't matter. I've always been one of those people. It doesn't matter what weight we're at. I'll truly fight anyone, anywhere, any given time, as long as I can make the weight, or less, or if we can agree upon a weight to fight at. I'm going to fight you. That's just how I look at it.
Tell me a little bit. Do you know anything? Do you know anything about Jason Manning, your opponent, or you don't even really care? Are you the kind of fighter that doesn't even worry about film? You just want to go in there and fight your fight, and you don't even care about your opponent.
So I'm actually really big on film study. I do a lot of film study, but for this camp, I can only find for this particular opponent, I could only find one fight on him, and ironically, it was the last guy that I just fought, which was Aaron. So that was the only fight I could find, and I've already watched that fight probably a million times. So I really didn't watch it a whole lot this time. Jason's he's a good wrestler. I mean, I've heard his hands are all right, but from what I've seen, they're pretty basic. And I don't mean that's an insult. He throws basic combinations, and they're fundamentally strong. There's not a whole lot I'm gonna have to worry about that's coming from different angles, because like I said, he keeps it pretty basic for what he needs. But Jason actually fought an old teammate of mine, Mike Erb. So I've had in a weird way, it's kind of I want to try and get that win back for him, because that was a loss, and I was well, it's cool. I didn't think I'd ever have to fight him, but his name came up, and I was I didn't even hesitate. I was yeah, I'll fight him. I literally told Bickens, I was literally just put my face on the poster, because I've already agreed to it. Don't even ask me. I'm gonna fight them. But so that's my mentality on that.
Well, listen, give me a prediction on a fight. I'm going to be cage side commentary with the big homie Justin Haskell. Are you going to go in there and since you're guy both have wrestling backgrounds, you think it's going to be a stand-up battle? Are you going to knock him out? You're going to choke him out? What do you see?
So I've I've visualized this fight going so many different ways, positive and negative. Like I've seen myself losing, I've seen myself winning. I look at him like this fight, and for me, the higher likelihood is for me winning by knockout or decision. And I think for him, it's probably by submission because he's a bigger guy. You know, he's naturally bigger than I am. But he's always been a bit the heavier weights. Where like I used to fight at 170, and then I've moved up the weight class. Like, this is the fourth different weight class I fought in. So he's naturally bigger. So I feel like the wrestling part more favors him. But I feel like striking, I feel like 9 times out of 10, whenever I run across someone, I'm going to be the better striker. It's just about applying it. So, and like last time I fought, that fight was absolute booty loops. No offense to Aaron, like he did his thing. Like Aaron's performance was phenomenal when he fought me. I didn't do what I need to do. Like, and I watched that fight back and it drives up the wall because all I did was I didn't pull the trigger at all. Like I had chances and opportunities and I just didn't take it. I became hesitant, and that's something like I worked really hard on correcting in this camp because I just feel like that last fight I overthought too many things. Like I can see myself thinking about what to do instead of doing it, and that makes me mad. So this time there's no thinking. It's just instant flow state. Go in, fight, and hopefully I can talk to you after the fight. That's the plan. But
That's the plan, right? All
I
right.
had to talk to you since I fought for WCC, so it's been a while.
All right. All right. Well, listen, before we go, give some shout outs, some love, whoever's, supporting you, who's going to be there screaming to have your arm raised, and maybe somebody who's helped you to get to this point right now.
So the first and most important shout out has to go to my friend Brendan, who passed away, because I feel like he's always there. He's always supporting me. Like, I always make the post, like whenever I have a fight, like it's a tag team, like it's me and him all the way through. So I have to give a shout out to him, his mom, his dad, his sister. They all support me through and through. My kids, my girlfriend, her family, my family. Obviously, a big one has to go to Mick because he's always been there for me. Like he's always having me, like he always has my back, and he genuinely cares about me. He checks on me, like in my mental health, and makes sure I'm okay going into fights. And I want to give a shout out to Art of War, to Deb, to Mike for always providing me with fair fights, always having me on the card, always being kind to me. And then to my sponsors, Combat Corner, Impact Mouth Guards, and Just Heart Apparel. So I got to give those guys some love. They're always there. They've been with me for a while, and I'm truly blessed to have them around, and it just means a lot.
All right, Cam, listen, best of luck to you. Best of skills to you. With your final preparations coming up, and we will see you cage side on the 23rd, my friend. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you too. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.